What up, y'all? It's the Kitchen Close Podcast, and you tuned in with your guy, Chef Vinny, and we're going to talk about 7 months later after Title 42 has expired in May. And now it's December, in which they say December is the most migrants they've seen in all the months since Title 42 has been expired. So check this out. This your guy Vince, Keith, the hard worker, Chef Vinny. Check it out. Y'all, that's right. What up, y'all? This your guy, Chef Vinny, with the Kitchen Close Podcast. And today we're going to be talking about 7 months later after Title 42 has expired and the asylum seekers, migrants, the border problem, border crisis, and what are our officials doing to counteract this problem or help the problem since Title 42 is expired. That was 7 months ago, and we're in the month of December. Hope everybody have a happy new year and had a wonderful holiday. This past month, New Year's is coming, and this is very important to us because more and more asylum seekers and migrants are entering the country, which is getting some cities are getting to capacity when mayors are starting to do make executive decisions on their own, and a lot of people are starting to become criminals with helping people. So I want y'all to just take a listen to this real quick and see how far 7 months have been since Title 42 has expired.
Today, a warning to Texas Republican Governor Greg Abbott. In a letter obtained by CBS News, the Department of Justice said it will sue the Lone Star State if it enforces a law signed by Abbott that makes illegal immigration a state crime and allows.
Now, I remember that. I remember that report because you know why? I did a short on it. I did a shorts on it. Word up. This is what Greg Abbott right here. Let me take it off. Port. I gotta put it close to the. Hold on. I hope y'all can hear this. Ben did that joint. Not Ben did it, but about a week or two ago, Greg Abbott trying to make local law enforcement be able to arrest asylum seekers and migrants crossing the border and whatnot. If they don't have the proper paperwork, they're going to get arrested and possibly deported back to their country. But I don't think they would deport them. They're going to keep them in the country as prisoners. But listen, after they threatened him with a lawsuit, he chilled on that.
allows law enforcement officials there to arrest and prosecute migrants. In New York City, Mayor Eric Adams is trying to set limits on the Texas governor's busing of migrants north. CBS's Estrid Martinez explains.
Yeah, Greg Abbott been wilding out lately. He just been sending buses to New York, Chicago, Denver. In bus loads. One time they say he sent 14 buses in one night. You're not supposed to do that. And what these mayors of these big cities are saying, we getting full, over capacity. Yo, we can't house no more people. And he still sent. At one point, he sent some on a plane too, I think 200 on a plane. Greg Abbott is getting them out of Texas. That's one thing. But Texas is the biggest state. And Denver, I'm wondering why Denver. I understand it's cold out there and they all in the city, but Denver's kind of spread out too. They got to find somewhere to go, but Abbott said not here.
Buses are still rolling into New York City hours after U.S. officials met with Mexico's president, promising to work together to limit record migration. Leslie Hernandez and her family are from Colombia and arrived in New York City by bus. She told CBS News, "We do what we can, and we have to make sacrifices for a better future."
Yeah, so, and everybody thinking some of these asylum seekers are coming strictly from Mexico. No, they coming from all foreign walks of life. Haiti, Africa, Venezuela, Colombia, Cuba, anywhere that's not in the United States, they coming. It don't matter where they were from. Ukraine, all over.
Yesterday, New York City Mayor Eric Adams signed a new executive order to hold charter bus companies accountable.
We cannot allow buses with people needing our help to arrive without warning at any hour of day and night.
The order requires bus companies give a 32-hour notice before coming, drop off migrants at designated locations and times, or face impounding and fines. Power Malu.
So if you a bus company and Greg Abbott hired you to take some migrants to whatever city, now with this new order they trying to get with the city, they trying to make sure that it's a 32-hour notice. First of all, you're going to let us know 32 hours in advance. And it's only going to be at one place, the Port Authority. It's going to be Monday through Friday. Y'all got 8:30 a.m. to 12 p.m. After that, y'all don't bring no more. Don't send no more buses before 8:30. Don't send no buses before 8:30. We need a passenger manifest and a bus driver. They want to know everybody on the bus, when the bus coming, they not playing no more. Well, it's in effect, and most other mayors in other places are looking at that and thinking, yeah, that's a good idea. I'm about to sanction off. Y'all can't know.
Greets migrants as they arrive and says the mayor's new executive order is causing chaos among advocacy groups.
And so what happens is we're tasked with people coming to us, asking us for services. I call this fabricated chaos.
New York City saw nearly 15,000 new arrivals this month, but it's not alone. Close to 2.
That's a lot of people. And the daily, they saying like the daily rate in some places just keep going up every day. So this is the news. Some of this is not accurate. These are some people that been on buses, but we've seen video of people just jumping through the fence and just running. So these numbers are not accurate. It's a lot more people than they're saying and coming into this country. So, but I remember when somebody was trying to, we ain't gonna get into that though right now. But as you can see, it hasn't gotten better, but it just seems like it's getting more and more intense for the cities and the places they're going. Because when you heard of New York being over and past, you can't fit on the elevator. Too much room in it. No, I never heard it. And when I'm thinking about in New York, in a few more days, Times Square, migrants, I'm not going to talk nothing, but y'all have to be very careful. These days coming up. In all cities, be careful. Because some migrants are doing the right way to get in, asylum seekers, but some people are doing it the wrong way. And we, as a country, I don't think we keeping track of everybody who's coming in here. So what they saying, numbers, I don't think the numbers are accurate, because I've seen footage of people just boom. I ain't seen them on no line and nothing. Jumping through. Like, check it out.
1,000 in Chicago and 5,000 in Denver.
We have to look at dramatically reducing the amount of services we offered or dramatically cutting our city budgets.
But the Biden administration says it has provided.
They provided money, but it's not enough. Because, look, Denver Mayor, Mike, he said it'll take $160 million to take care of the migrant crisis in a year. He said that's 10% of the city budget for the whole year. And they say Denver averaging like 200 migrants a day. In the past year, they had over 3,400. They have spent over $36 million already in migrant help. They need help. And that's why he's trying to stop some of these bus companies. Yo, if the bus company don't follow those rules, you could get arrested. Your bus could get impounded. You face criminal charges now if you don't follow these rules. So 7 months later, what's going on up in this piece? Chicago mayor plans to do it because in Chicago alone, they had over 30,000 in a year. They said the migration is an influx. It's too much. They saying no more migrant buses, please. In cities outside of Chicago, like freeways going into Chicago or going little town, yo, they got signs say no migrant buses. Yo, this is crazy. And not to support this or not, but think about that. Netflix got a movie called Civil War, something like that. What do you think Greg Abbott is doing by sending migrants to other cities while they may have to deal with it, while you just sit back, chuckle and laugh because you getting them out your city? You causing a division now, because we all supposed to help them. Y'all all should help them, so I don't know where we stand on this, because it seems like the numbers ain't accurate to me, but this is what they saying. It's what the count is. But that's when you're accountable.
Provided more than $1 billion in grant funding for cities and towns hosting recently arrived migrants.
And I think the U.S. is pitching that this is a regional problem, not just a United States problem, that we need to work together on this, and that there are investments that we're prepared to make.
Simple and plain, work together. Work together for the greater good of all mankind. You should do that, right? That's not making no sense. And these asylum seekers, 10 cities going into Chicago are like with the no migrant sign. They'll close the roads. You're gonna start tension to where regular citizens in small towns are gonna be standing outside their town with rifles or whatever like that, saying, no, y'all not coming here. And that's when the law can do like, well, we gotta go in. And then when the tension builds, I'm not talking no more. But this is what's going on. And you say Joe Biden gave him $1 billion. Oh, wow. I mean, I believe he gave more than that. Ukraine, Israel. But that's no here, no there. But that is the issue. That is the issue.
And tonight, CBS News has learned that migrant crossings reached a record high in December. U.S. border agents took into custody more than 225,000 migrants at the southern border in the first 27 days of the month. Major?
Astrid Martinez, thank you. You know, a lot of
now, could you believe that it's getting more and more congested? Now, isn't some people in Chicago right now? This is how Chicago people are feeling right now in their situation.
At this particular location.
They protesting. They don't want it. They say they'll do it themselves. But I'll have the setup later on the next time where I can have picture in picture where y'all can see this protest. I just got it on my iPad right now. And I don't want to hold it up and look at y'all. Don't worry, I got my joint set up. I just ain't set it up. But yeah, Chicago people are really fed up with that too, because you just throwing people out there and they're starting to knock on people's doors, asking for food and stuff like that. That's scary. I don't know about y'all, but if at one point you chilling.
More than 4,000 migrants are now arriving in New York City.
And one day you could just walk outside, walk by. Next couple of months later, you walking and it's the whole sidewalk got people in tents. How would that'll mess my head up. But yeah, this migrant crisis hasn't gotten better in 7 months. It only has gotten worse. And our government, I don't know what they're doing. I think it's more important out there in Ukraine and Israel because they got a real problem instead of right here. We don't. I guess we got to worry about it. But think about that, y'all. And people asking me, why you got this on the Kitchen Clothes podcast? You talk about this, a podcast about work. That's right. These migrants have smartphones now. You know, they might not speak English, but they could talk it to the phone. And one of the reporters went up to the man and he translated. I just want work. I'm not going to stand around like my other fellow man. I just looking for work, right? I need to work. I want to contribute. So a lot of them not here just, on some BS. Some of them are here really to work, change their life. I believe that. That's what his phone said. I don't think he's fibbing. But there's more things going on.
Every week, and Mayor Eric Adams says that they will now be limiting shelter stays for migrant families with children to 60 days.
So the number of asylum seekers here in New York has doubled, but once they get here, they've got nowhere to go.
There are new time limits on how long asylum seekers with children.
Can't play that music. But it's really getting out of hand. Denver, oh man. And I feel bad for the migrants because it's getting cold.
With migrants arrived in Denver. The city of Denver confirms 9 busloads arrived last night, 7 this morning from Texas. Overall, there are about 3,800 migrants right now in shelters in the metro area. This comes as it is expected more than 10,000 migrants crossed.
Did y'all hear how many buses they just brought in? Wow. Greg Abbott. A lot of people not gonna like you.
the southern border into the United States in each of the last 3 days. Your reporter, Brian Sherrod, is live in Denver right now. Let's go to him. Brian, you met with many of the migrants today who are unsure what to do next.
And Alan, the city of Denver tells me at least 340 migrants have been dropped off here since.
Just dropped off. Pulled up somewhere. Get out.
Last night, and many of them don't even know where they are. They're unfamiliar with this area. Now, with them being in the area of Zunai and Spear, many people tell us, including one woman who works there, that it's just making it difficult for her to work in the area right now.
Like I said, the public is scared. I mean, there might be some good people in that group or whatever, just like I said, like, you know, a man want a job, but some bad coming across too. Some bad is coming across, and y'all know that. Everybody ain't no angel just jumping the gates.
This has become ground zero for migrants in Denver. Many struggling for food and money, even asking our crews for help while we were there. All the migrants we spoke with didn't speak English, but through translator.
One migrant had a bicycle. Where you get that bike from? He just coming. What? Yo, they standing there panhandling now. Where he get a bike from? That's what I want to know.
We found out they are originally from Venezuela, Colombia, and Guatemala. Jarena, who works.
No offense, but I know they got some excellent narcotics in those countries, and every asylum seeker or migrant look like they got some big book bags, and I don't think we could have walked around with no book bag without but just feel where I'm coming from with this, my brothers and sisters. Shorty scared at work.
At the Shell gas station at Spear and Zunai, tells us she tried to help but didn't get a good response.
They speak bad to me. I'm the only one who speaks Spanish. I try to help them and try to explain the rules, but they don't like it. Too many people.
She probably telling them, listen, it's going to take, well, why you can't help me? Help me. And she probably like, the hell no.
They are so bad with me and with my boss.
3,800 migrants are currently staying in 7 shelters, specifically for migrants across the city, but resources are dwindling.
We can run out of room. We can run out of resources. We're already limited as is, and it's just straining an already strained system even further.
They don't have no room. And now, I know they frustrated. They probably traveled a long way. You already in the country. You're in the country illegally. And you gonna be rude to the citizens of the country? And you can take your back over there with the attitude. You can't do that, man. They say they come into the store being rude to her, being rude to my boss. Man, see, a lot of people can't show them what America is about because they just got here.
With the shelters reaching capacity, the city is working to find migrants jobs and housing. They tell us they are doing whatever they can to keep everyone off the streets, especially children.
So we recognize everything is much more difficult with a child. That's why we've given families that more time. We don't want children on the streets. We don't want anyone on the streets.
Jarena tells us she is thankful for the city's help, but resources need to come faster for these migrants.
Yeah, a lot of people know about biker weekend and stuff like that. Where we in South Carolina or any popular area. Imagine, like, you know how crowded the streets is. That's how some places is right now, crowded with migrants, like it's a festival or something going on. I mean, some citizens they going crazy.
They are making it harder for her every day.
We have to take the stick to clean the window because they still every night too.
For $17 a month, my plan includes count.
They got to put this, out of old school. They got to put the stick in the window and all that. because they stealing. That's what I'm saying. A lot of owners and stuff like that. Like when the riots, you know, some of the Asian owners was outside their store with their guns on top of the roof and all. This is what it's going to be, watch. It's going to be organized chaos in a minute. So these movies that these Hollywood, which is on strike now, right? That's why they put the actors went on strike, because they ain't pay them, so of course they're gonna go on strike. So they can't really leak the movies they already made. So we all know how that's going right now. No actors and no writers are working right now, because we need television for news. We got a war to promote. We got other things to promote, allegedly. That's how they doing. And everything I say is alleged, and everything I'm using is just my opinion. And it's, for educational purposes only. Other people need to know what y'all talking about, because y'all use different words than we do. So I'm the word man to help them understand that, they playing a game with it.
To bring order to chaos. Migrants were showing up in Chicago from the southern border at any given time without notice.
But that plan is now creating problems in the suburbs. We're learning new details from our Charlie DeMar tonight.
Now, it's problem because it's coming to the suburbs. Wait a minute. You cannot. Migrants, no. Not here. This is a gated community.
Found out leaders there say they simply can't provide the services these asylum seekers need.
And here in Oak Park, there is a similar ordinance as the one in Chicago that fines rogue bus drivers who drop off migrants without giving notice. Now asylum seekers are being dropped off in cities all over our area, and those bus drivers are doing it in an effort to avoid those fines.
Okay, we're going to go to this rest stop right here. Y'all can get out and get something to eat for about 5 or 10 minutes, and we'll be back on the bus. But I need all of y'all to get off this bus, okay? We're going to go in the store, get you whatever you want. That's everybody. Not gonna get me in trouble.
Freddie Garcia is far from his home in Venezuela this Christmas, but the 20-year-old has started to build community in his adopted home of Oak Park. Garcia organized this holiday party for his fellow asylum seekers.
La tradición de nuestro país la revivimos con este nuevo evento que acabamos de lograr. To eat the traditional.
See, they gonna stick together. That's why I tell my brothers and sisters, learn 2 languages. Become bilingual. Have your smartphone all the time on translate. Going to need to know 2 languages in this country in a minute.
And now the suburbs, like this one that showed up unannounced in Aurora Friday afternoon. They were then loaded onto the Metro and sent to Chicago. Aurora just introduced a new ordinance that...
Yo, what they doing here? Oh no, we'll fix that. Hold up. Get the train. Send them to Chicago. Not a problem. They're not gonna come.
Will penalize bus companies that don't provide 5 days notice before arriving. Chicago passed a similar ordinance, but it's backfiring as rogue bus drivers are now dropping migrants off in suburban communities to avoid those penalties.
I tell you, they going after the buses now. They're going to seize your property. They're going to take you, your bus driver going to snitch, going to take you to jail. I'm telling you, they turning people who taking migrants who came into the country illegally but didn't get their paperwork yet, but they taking them to another city. So basically, can the bus driver now be charged with like human trafficking now? Is that what they trying to do? I don't know. So who's the leader of that? That sound like GA from Texas. That sound like my man GA from Texas, who's organizing this alleged trafficking. Alleged now.
Migrants have been dropped off in University Park, Elburn, Lockport, Tinley Park, and the list goes on.
Aurora is not like in the position community
to be
park,
long-term
they put park
care
in
for
your
anyone
neighborhood name.
coming into the city.
In Kankakee, up to 40 Venezuelan migrants were bussed from Texas and let out at a gas station.
I told y'all one of them bus drivers. I didn't see this. I'm just going through whatever it say migrant on the joint. So I just said that. Y'all go ahead and go in the store. We're gonna go ahead and get y'all something to drink. But I need everybody off the bus, okay? Yeah. Just go ahead. I just said that, y'all.
Driver told the passengers they were in Chicago. The sheriff says his officers then dropped some of the migrants off at Midway.
And they left them there to, start walking on the roadway, which was...
No. Did you hear that? They dropped them off. Some police picked some up. So they didn't get a bus. I guess they had patrolled the paddy wagon or something. Some. And then they said they dropped them off midway to Chicago. So you let them walk wherever they was. I live in the United States. You drop me off in Chicago. I wouldn't know where to go.
More dangerous than anything. Chicago has said from the beginning that they welcome everybody. Only when it's convenient, apparently.
And tonight during...
You should have seen the sheriff that said that. He looked like he the sheriff out there in them suburbs. He said Chicago said they welcome anybody. So where the y'all think we sent them? That's basically what he's saying.
When my son...
You know what I mean? That's basically what you should see the guy. Yeah. Old Mayberry looking buddy. Yep. He typed that like, I wish I could catch that goddamn bus driver.
Slowed, but because of recent crackdowns by City Hall, they are now arriving here via the suburbs.
Thank you all. After Mayor Johnson ordered buses that don't follow protocol to be impounded and fined in the city, more and more buses are dodging the issue by doing their drop-offs in the suburbs. Over the holiday weekend, 2 buses brought 91 migrants to a metro stop in Elmhurst. In Fox River Grove, at least 38 migrants were dropped off over the weekend and reportedly told that they were in.
Told them they was in Chicago. Yeah, you in Chicago. You don't see the snow? Chicago. All right, y'all get out of this restaurant right here, and down there should be the building.
Chicago. Police provided a warming shelter until a train arrived to the city. For months, the standard drop.
A warming shelter until the train arrived to the city. Don't worry. You're not going to stay here long. You're going to get their ass right around. Shut up.
Off Point has been a designated landing zone on the near west side, but with fines and penalties now in place, the dynamic has shifted with
Yeah, them bus drivers like, man, I can't go in the city right now. You take them into the city. I can't go in the city. It's a certain time, and I ain't get no manifest. I ain't even put the proper paperwork to even bring this bus. Take them and drop them off some goddamn way. That's basically what he's saying.
Bus is taking the tack of dropping migrants in the suburbs near public transportation. Currently, about 300 migrants are waiting to be placed in shelters in Chicago, but that is a quickly changing number.
Now, you supposed to make people feel better because you dropped them off near public transportation in a country they never been in a city they never been in. That's supposed to make people feel, well, we dropped them off at the bus stop. What?
Local officials largely in the dark about where or when buses will be popping up in the suburbs. The Kane County Republican Party released a statement demanding that more municipalities pass restrictive ordinances that would make it harder for buses to make unannounced drop-offs, saying in part, this exploitation must end now. Our neighborhoods are turning into battlegrounds because of these policies. Elburn, Elgin, Aurora, all under attack without warning.
This is the community saying that. Turning our communities into battleground. Civil war. I ain't say nothing, allegedly. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. People are seeing what's going on. I can't even walk to the goddamn store without stepping over somebody. That's how it's going to be. Watch.
And we did look into earlier social media reports that migrants were also dropped off in Glen Ellen. Police there could not confirm that.
You just did.
Well, more migrants are making their way to Chicago, and over the weekend, more than 100 people arrived on buses in the suburbs before taking trains into the city.
See, they making it seem like the migrants was making a community. Well, we just got dropped off here and we're gonna take the train to Chicago, okay? No. Yo, they got dropped off because the bus driver know you gonna get in trouble if he bring them, to Chicago right now. You know we got a law now. So basically, they was like, they making it seem like the migrants had an itinerary. Well, we're going to catch the bus here. Then at such and such, we're catching the train to Chicago. Everybody with that? Okay. And the children will be able to play on the bus and everything. Okay, y'all? Out of here, man. Them people landed in y'all town, and y'all got them out real fast.
The cities receiving the influx of migrants say they had no heads up. Darius Johnson is at the Ogilvie Transportation Center where many of those people arrived.
Yeah, Jackie, good morning. A total of 3 unscheduled buses all arrived in surrounding areas here in the city of Chicago over the weekend. At this time, there are more than 14,000 migrants in the city that are residing in 27 shelters.
That's a lot of people. And I know Chicago probably got a homeless problem. Probably not near none of the homeless people in none of them shelters right now. That's what we talk about. That's the problem right there. You know what I'm saying? The citizens of where they at probably not even in the shelters. Like New York, I know New York got a lot of homeless and got a homeless problem. I know a lot of migrants done kicked them to the curb too.
And about 300 are currently awaiting placement. Saturday morning, Fox River Grove says 38 asylum seekers got off a bus at the Fox River Grove metro station. They were then provided tickets to get to Chicago. Saturday night, just after 9, a bus...
I told you they had. We're going to catch the bus to Fox River Grove, and then we're going to take it to Chicago. Yeah? Okay.
Arrived in Elmhurst with 58 asylum seekers. Every person on board had metro tickets where they took a train to the Ogilvie Transportation Center. Elmhurst police say a second bus arrived shortly after with 33 asylum seekers. They too had metro tickets where they also boarded a train to Chicago.
That's it, y'all, right there. 7 months later, nothing has changed. It's only getting worse, and more asylum seekers are still at the border of Texas. But now this is going to slow down. The big cities are going to have their ordinance or law, whatever, put in place where they have to schedule the bus time, make sure they know how many buses coming. You can only come this time. Everybody's going to start adopting that, because if they can't get to the big cities, they're coming to yours now. If you do it, well, I don't live in New York. New Jersey is about to have a problem, they say. Pennsylvania, a lot of these other places where they're not putting this law in, like New York and Denver and Chicago. I believe California is starting to pick it up, and all these other places are picking it up. You better let us know when you bringing some migrants, how many migrants you bringing. You only dropping them off at one spot, and you only got a certain amount of time to do it. You got from this time to this time, and after that, shut off. No more buses to the next day, and that's from Monday through Friday. You don't do that, you violate that, you're going to start having a criminal record. You're going to start getting criminal charges. After we keep arresting you, we're going to take your bus, and let me see how you work and get people over here. Then if you get in another bus, we're going to take that bus, and now you going to jail. I'm telling you, that's how it's going to be in a minute. You know what I'm saying? This your guy, Chef Vinny. This is the Kitchen Closed podcast on YouTube. And the border crisis, after 7 months, have only gotten worse. And more migrants are entering the country. More and more laws are being made that may affect us later, original citizens in the long run, because after a while, they become citizens too. But it's the Kitchen Closed podcast. I appreciate y'all. Like, comment, subscribe. I've been getting a lot of comments lately, and I give you my feedback, and I always appreciate the comments. So be respectful. Keep it in the guidelines. You know what I'm saying? Like, comment, subscribe. Your boy got 100 subscribers, and I ain't begging for subscribers, but check us out. Kitchen Closed podcast when you can. Hit the like button. It's easy. It's free. You know what I'm saying? And this is your boy Vinny Nichols, a.k.a. Chef Vinny, with the Kitchen Closed podcast. And peace. I'm out.